If you have built a six-figure business and you still feel broke, then today this live video training is exactly for you. I'm going to break down the numbers and tell you exactly why that you're struggling to pay not only your business bills, but also your personal bills with a six-figure revenue business. So, hey there, I'm Saylin, your fun business coach. In just 90 days, I help six-figure small business owners leave the exhausting grow phase where 98% of women get stuck and prepare their business to scale, where only the 2% elite become a part of that $1 million revenue level and above. So today we are breaking down why your six-figure business is keeping you broke. As you come on, tell me if your six-figure business is keeping you broke below. Let me know, what is your biggest expense in business right now? Okay, so let's get into it. Then most likely you have been sold the lie that so many entrepreneurs were, right? And it's not your fault because everyone talks about it. So what are all the messages on social media? I'll help you get to six figures in 6 months. Let's get to 10K in 6 weeks. All of these things around having a six-figure business, right? And so in your head, you're thinking that if I can get to six figures, then everything will be okay. And so what you've done is you've hustled to six figures. And now what's going on is you are here. You are stuck in hustle culture. You are working 50 plus hours a week. You're completely exhausted between your business, your life, your family, all of your requirements that you have to do. Forget about sleep. Like, we're barely getting that in. And you're still struggling every single month to pay not only your business bills, but also anything above and beyond that, like your personal bills. How about that amazing vacation you want to go on, or send your kids to summer camp, or fund your retirement, or pay for their college, or any of those other things. You may also have mounting debt and no savings, and you just feel financially uncomfortable. If that's you, give me a heck yes in the comments. Now, let me break down why this is happening to you, because it's truly not your fault. See, you were sold get to six figures, but no one ever broke down what that was going to look like for you. And let's just be clear first, six-figure business is revenue. That is your gross sales and not your profit. So I work with two different types of businesses. I work with product-based businesses and I work with service-based businesses. And I also work with in-person, brick and mortar, and online businesses and combinations of the both. So I want to give you both ends of the spectrum so you can identify which one you are and know your numbers. Now, if you did not get this information in your inbox on Sunday, that's because you're not subscribed to the Sunday Shift with Saylin, which is my weekly business letter to you that I send out every Sunday at 6 a.m. I send that out. It is a combination of lessons I've learned in business, plus a weekly action step to get you moving in the right direction, and always some sort of tool or resource to help you fix the problem if you're experiencing, right? So I want you to learn from my mistakes and then hopefully get out of it if you are in the same one, or avoid it if possible. So let's get back and break down the numbers. Now, if you're like, I don't even want to talk about numbers because I don't like dealing with the numbers, you are not alone. I am not a numbers person, but I can tell you after being mentored by a neighboring franchise owner, 99% of the answers that you're looking for in your business come down to knowing your metrics, and your revenue and your profit and your expenses are one of the top ones that is going to give you some insight. Okay, so let's start with this. If you had a six-figure salary job prior to your business, you most likely put about $67,000 in your pocket after taxes, right? So six-figure salary, $67,000, okay? Now, if you have a service-based business and your revenue, so that is your gross sales, is six figures, so let's say 100,000, most likely your profit is somewhere around 28 to 45,000. Now, I don't know exactly what the median gross salary is in the United States. I think it's like low 40s right now. But that basically means that you are putting less than the median average in the United States in your pocket from your six-figure service-based business. Okay. Now, if you are a product-based business, I have bad news for you. It's even worse. A $100,000 product-based business right now, after expenses, is putting about $10,000 to $25,000 in their pocket. Now, let me tell you this, right? The sad thing is I didn't even account in these numbers for like health insurance. Like if you have to pay your health insurance, I didn't account for contributing to a retirement, an IRA, or anything along those lines, right? And I couldn't attribute to any paid time off here. So when we look at a six-figure salary versus a six-figure business, you even have those other three things in there that is contributing to expenses, okay, that are not in there. So let's just go over that. $100,000 business, service-based, you're putting 28 to 45 in your pocket, maybe. And if you're a product-based business, 10 to 25,000, maybe. So now, here's the thing. If your six-figure business is a side hustle, side gig, you're not the primary breadwinner, you have another income coming in, maybe you still have a full-time job or a part-time job, or maybe a partner or a spouse or someone else in your household has a job, then it might be okay, right? But if you are the primary breadwinner or the single person who's trying to make it on a six-figure business and you're feeling broke, this is why. And it is because there's so many expenses that no one told you about when you started that business. I have a bird going crazy on my window right now. I don't know if, no, he's gone. And so this is why you're feeling broke, is because your expenses, your percent of expenses versus your revenue is so high that you're struggling, right? And so you are not alone. First, know this. So here's what happens when I work with six-figure small business owners who are feeling this way. The first thing that we do, right? In the first pillar, there are four core foundational business pillars that every business from Amazon to Apple to Airbnb has in their business. There's four of them. You cannot get around these if you want to scale your business. But the first pillar, we dive into your metrics. You have to know what products or services are making you the most money, profit, and you have to know where you're spending your time. So that way you are focusing on the things that make you money. Because what I see is so many women are focused on tasks that are keeping them busy, but tasks that are not growing their business. And what happens is you're then spending the precious time that you have focused on the wrong things, and you're promoting the wrong products or services. Or you may be trying to fix your low profit by adding more products or services, and now you're just confusing your audience, right? So this is the first thing that is so important to understand. And I understand if you're not a metrics person. That's why inside of my signature program, the Legacy Business School, I give you the tools and templates to make it as easy as possible. And what I hear from my clients is, they usually say within the first 2 weeks, oh my gosh, now I know where I am lacking productivity, wasting time, and why I'm struggling to get everything done. So we address the time issue. Then we look at the product or service issue, and eyes are opened. I worked with a client last year who has a product-based business. She had 4 revenue streams. And she was like, I really, really love this one revenue stream, and I'm trying to decide whether I should increase my space so I can sell more. I love it so much. It's great. And I was like, okay, go into the Legacy Business School, use the template, run your numbers, bring them back to me, and then let's determine whether you should get the bigger space since you love it so much, right? Like, we'll know. So off she goes. She comes back to me and she's like, oh my gosh, for the past 12 months, that one revenue stream that she loved so much, she had lost money all year long. At that point, there was no tough decision to make on whether she needed to double her space or not. The decision she needed to make was so clear. Do I even want to keep losing money, or do I need to get out from this revenue stream at all? But because we dived into then the other 3 revenue streams, we realized that she was making money on another one with a lot less time, energy, and expenses. And so these are the things that you have to look at if you have a 6-figure business. And for some of you, it might be fun if you love numbers. But if you're someone like me who doesn't necessarily love numbers, but you know you have to have those numbers to make decisions, then this is why I guide you along in this process. I help my clients make decisions by giving them the tools and templates and guidance and asking them the tough questions so they can come to the conclusions on their own with the data that they generated, right? And this is what is allowing 6-figure women entrepreneurs who come into my program. They spend 90 days dialing in on what's working, what's not working, and then integrating those 4 core pillars, right, that every successful business has. And then they're using that 90 days to get everything in their business set up so they can laser focus and be prepared to scale to 1 million and beyond. Because let me tell you what happens at 1 million. So remember, if you are subscribed to the Sunday Shift newsletter, this is in your inbox. If you don't, comment newsletter and I will send you a link to this week's newsletter so you have all of these numbers. But here's the difference. When you take that same business, you implement those 4 core business pillars so you can scale to 1 million, here's what changes. A service-based business at $1 million that is optimized with those 4 core pillars is then putting about $315,000 in their pocket. The product-based business is putting about $140,000 in their pocket. That's how you go from a six-figure business to a multi-six-figure salary in your pocket. So if you have a six-figure business right now that's keeping you broke, you're tired of being there, and you're like, I am ready to put six figures in my pocket and not just on my P&L line item, then I want to encourage you to comment legacy. Let's have a discussion about whether my program, the 4 core pillars in 90 days, is going to be the right fit for you. Whether you're product-based, service-based, online, in-person, or a combination of both, these 4 core pillars are business pillars that every single business must have in order to become profitable and scale to 1 million and beyond, right? Once you have these in your business, you not only are reducing your hours from 50 plus. On average, my clients go down to part-time, somewhere 20 or below a week. They are also increasing their profit because they know where they're making money. We're future forecasting their growth so they know exactly what to focus on. They have a plan, daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, so they know exactly what to focus on to maximize their efficiency, productivity, and profitability. At the end of 90 days, not only will you love your business again, but you will have your life back. And that will give you the energy, the motivation, and the passion to scale to 1 million and beyond. And you will fall back in love with your business. No more burnout, no more exhaustion, no more fatigue. We're just talking about laser focused intention so you can scale and you can put more money in your pocket working less hours. So if this is like a OMG, I need all of this, comment legacy. Let's have a conversation. And if you didn't get these statistics that I went over today in your inbox on Sunday, comment newsletter, and I will send you a link to the article that has all of the data so you can break it down for yourself. I also put together an amazing tool in there so you can easily identify what you need in order to scale. Okay? It's been a pleasure. If you have any questions, please let me know. Sharing is caring. Please share this with a six-figure small business owner who is struggling and you think could use this help. Otherwise, I will see you next Wednesday where I will be back and we'll talking all about the shift from growing, where 98% of six-figure entrepreneurs get stuck, to scaling to join the 2% elite. I'll see you guys next week. Talk to you later.